Welcome to My Biker Life, where we look underneath the helmet to tell the stories of bikers from all across this great country. This week, we look at overcoming fear in all its forms, in riding,
I can do that.
in life,
Love riding, love life.
and even in sports. We'll meet a husband and wife riding duo that make their biker life work around everything else,
If I can't ride, it's not really a good day to me.
including several high-profile clients who are coming to town for work and play. And a corporate VP shows us how to get out of the office and enjoy life. Bikers, they aren't just stereotypes anymore, so take a ride with us, and let's get to know a few more, now on My Biker Life.
My name is Nancy Jones. I am a full-time wife, full-time mom, and a part-time registered nurse at a local clinic here working in the triage area. Family is very important to my husband and I.
Some people don't have their moms, they don't have their brothers and sisters, or their parents, their fathers today. And as we grow and we mature in life, it makes you realize that, you know what? I need to cherish every moment I have with my wife and my kids, because everything changes. Life does not stop. So, you know what? While we have the moment, let's enjoy each and every bit of the moment. And it just makes family very important to me. And I don't want to miss a beat of it.
All right, let's go. Let's get one.
Way to fire it, kid.
My son has baseball, not only games, practices, trainings, one-on-one coaching, so we're both very active and involved in all of those things. Our son PJ likes us as parents to be at everything, whether it's a game or a practice.
A longtime rider, for Paul, enjoying life means getting out and riding with friends.
Well, I've always been riding. I had friends. They all had mini bikes. Then a friend of mine, Dave, when we were 16, 17 in high school, we had matching blue scooters.
Paul Jones was probably one of the first people that ever had the Honda 150 Deluxe, very nice bike, and everybody wanted one of those back then.
You couldn't tell us nothing. We knew we were the stuff in high school with a blue scooter. We were just like, yes, this is the life. What I like about riding is the peacefulness that I get. I enjoy it. Just riding the open road, feeling the wind.
This is the life. This is what it's supposed to be like. And so, when you're out with friends, people that you care about, people that you love, it feels good to be out with them and be able to enjoy the time that you're having.
People understanding, like when they were kids, you were doing something that you enjoyed to do, and then mom or dad said, okay, it's time to come in. That's how I feel when I get off my bike. It's like, oh, I'm home. You realize that when you don't want to stop riding, that's a true passion, that's a true love.
Unfortunately, this is a love that has not always been shared by Nancy.
When I was 12, I got invited to a friend's cabin, which I was very excited to go to. At their cabin, they had four-wheelers, motorbikes. I was excited to be able to try something new. I got in a motorbike, obviously did not know what I was doing, did a pop-a wheelie on it. It fell over, hit my leg, burned my leg. So from there, never had a true desire to ever even just get on a bike.
Even for a close-knit family, it can be difficult when fear of what could happen on a bike separates some members of the family from others.
My name is Alan Glenn. Live in the Twin Cities here of Minnesota, and I am the Vice President of Sales for Fujifilm Healthcare. It's technology that's very specialized, and it's, digital x-ray, digital mammography, anything imaging, technology that can not only change people's lives, but changes clinical outcomes. I love what I do.
As much as he loves his job, Alan's true talent isn't always immediately visible.
I had a love for music, and so I was looking for a record deal and trying to get into the music industry. Came in Minneapolis and just really networked around and met everybody from folks who worked with Prince to Prince himself to different producers here. So got to meet a lot of different folks in the industry and do a lot of different things.
Before there was a you,
Worked with Denny Green, the old coach of the Minnesota Vikings.
I searched 1,000 faces.
Got to travel, got to record some music that was released out in Europe, released here, and nothing that really blew up very big, but it was a lot of fun.
Career paths change, but a passion for music does not. To stay involved, Alan joined a band that is anything but your average garage band.
The band's called The Good, the Bad, and the Funky, and it's a big 10-piece horn band, so it's got a 5-piece horn section, full rhythm section. The lead singer. And we do everything from old stuff to new stuff. All sorts of genres, right? I love music, and I love all kinds of music.
And this is where you guys started playing.
Yes, it is.
Originally 20 years ago.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Many years ago.
Best band in the Twin Cities.
So when I'm not playing music or I'm not hanging out with the family, I love to go out and ride bikes, motorcycles, Harley Davidsons. I've been riding since I was 8 years old when my grandmother bought me a Honda Aero 80 scooter, big red scooter, where I couldn't take it because I wasn't old enough to go out on the road, and we lived in a neighborhood with 2 cul-de-sacs, and so I think for 4 years I was that one kid, you know, riding around the neighborhood 24/7. And it's progressed with the type of bike that I had over the years, from, you know, your crotch rockets to finally a street bike. So this is my tricked out Harley Davidson Road Glide in polished black. So I put the stretch tank, custom tank on, custom seat, removable backrest for when the wife's not with me. Stretched bags, 6-inch lip, got the side covers, got the center stand underneath, and then we raked out the front, about 9 inches. Custom fender, big 26 on the front, custom forks. She's ready to go ride, and this is my baby, Eleanor. That's my baby.
As many riders know, the joy of riding can be tempered by the looming possibility of what could happen.
There's a lot of fun that comes along with riding bikes, and there's some danger that comes along with riding motorcycles, right? We had some very good friends of ours, married couple, that were killed on their motorcycle leaving a restaurant that we were at out west. One night, we had all just left the restaurant, and not half an hour later, we're getting a phone call from the police that they lost control of their motorcycle and hit a telephone pole. So it's devastating, right? And this is the reality of the dangers sometimes that come along with riding motorcycles.
It's a reality that all who ascribe to a biker life must eventually face. However, bikers know you remember those who have fallen, and you keep looking towards the future. Coming up, find out how Nancy was able to overcome her fear of riding and see the biker life that Alan is passing down to future generations. The members of the Jones family had different experiences growing up with motorcycles. Fortunately, this is one story that had a chance to be rewritten.
Part of my life is I really do a lot of consulting for business clients. And making sure that they have whether it's their financial career, their marketing, whatever it is that clients need. So there's always professional clients coming to town, very high profile clients that I get the privilege to work with.
Beautiful ride. Oh my goodness, would you look at how beautiful this place is?
We're probably a little early.
My name is Asmarie Livingston, and I am an actress, artist, and entertainer.
Asmarie started out appearing on America's Next Top Model. She went on to take the role of Chicken on Fox's show Empire, and has recently segued into a singing career.
I'm in Minnesota today to see Paul so we can take care of some business.
We're getting a little work and a little play, hopefully.
Got it!
What's going on, P? You got it?
Hey! How are you?
Oh, man, how was the fight? Good? Oh, man. We can take care of business, and that's, of course, we're going to do that. But it's more importantly, and to me, to have a true relationship with the people that I work with.
I've always had a passion for music ever since I had seen Michael Jackson on the screen dancing.
Word.
And so I was that little kid dancing, and I always believed that I could do it as well. And so I just worked hard at it, and I've been blessed enough to be put around the right individuals that believe in my dream and believe in my ability to take it there. And so we're just producing some wonderful, wonderful music that I'm excited to get out.
I'm feeling it. So what was your fear?
Woo! Riding a bike and snakes. And so I figured the best one to kind of get on first, because it didn't have a face, was a bike. So I went and I took some classes at CMSP, California Motorcycle Patrol. And the whole weekend of riding. And I absolutely fell in love. The first thing I was thinking was, what took me so long? And why did I wait so long? Why did I hold myself back from that? And honestly, when it happened, I felt more motivated to do a lot more things in my life. I don't like to move in fear. Fear, you know, fear of the unknown is why a lot of people don't move forward in life and kind of hold themselves back. So I was trying to do the reverse. And it's my outlook on my life in general is a lot different now that I've gotten myself on that bike, and I told myself I can do it. And I made that extra step alone. You know, I didn't do it with anyone else. I did it for myself, and I moved by that.
That's what's real, doing it for yourself. That makes sense. So it's beautiful. I was telling you about my wife, and she impressed the heck out of me. Because one day we were just out, I think we were in Wisconsin Dells somewhere, and there was a bunch of ladies that just pulled up. And me and the guys, we just looking like, yo.
I don't know why, but I just turned to him, looked at the women on the bikes, turned to him, and we were like, I can do that. I'm a competitive person. So I'm like, you're looking at that? I can do that. I know I can do that. So after I said that, I'm like, what did I get myself into? Just because knowing that I've never had a love for motorcycles.
To hear her even say she had got thrown off so early on and that kind of discouraged her, I could totally understand, as I was someone who had a friend who had a loss.
I will never forget the night that a good friend of mine lost her brother on a bike. We got the phone call. One time a few years ago, I was riding home from Disneyland. It's 1 a.m. It's myself and a passenger, and I witnessed a bike get kind of sideswiped by a semi-truck. Flew one way, bike flew another way, helmet flew one way.
Just for her to want to face her own fear and not hold her own self back, to go out there and really just put her best foot forward and make it happen. It's inspiring.
For me to say, I'm gonna do that and actually sign up for class, and I mean, that was conquering a fear in itself.
And she did it on her own. Not only did she sign up herself to the classes, go through the classes, did it all on her own, then she even told me what bike she wanted. And I was like, I'm gonna get you some nice little, and she's like, no, I want a Softail Breakout. And I'm like, now I'll hear her getting up, going to work. I'll be laying up, and all of a sudden you hear that engine, pop up, and I'm like, oh, she's taking a bike to work today. She conquered a fear. I mean, it was like stepping out of a comfort zone. And sometimes people will hear that and they'll talk about stepping out of a comfort zone. Well, she did.
Riding a motorcycle has definitely grown to be a love, something that is more natural, something that I look forward to doing whenever we have free time. My next goal is to be able to take on a longer ride.
Towards this end, Nancy upgraded her Softail Breakout for the more comfortable ride of a 2017 CVO Street Glide.
Obviously, it's now a new experience. Being able to ride a little bit bigger a bike makes it a little bit more of a thrill to be able to master that now.
She's graduated now. She's got the CVO Street Glide, and So she's doing her thing on that too, and I'm like, all right, I'll give you props. So, well, I know we gotta take PJ to his baseball training, so he's a little slugger as you seen earlier, and so we'll ride over there.
Business is business, but when it's time to have fun, the Joneses hit the road and take their clients along for the ride. Next up, Alan shares some motorcycle wisdom we can all use and see how the Joneses roll with professional baseball players. Alan Glenn and his family were devastated by the loss of their friends and fellow riders in a motorcycle accident. As always, the biker community supported one another and came together to pay tribute to some of their own.
It was a beautiful day for the funeral. And so we had done her father had asked that everybody bring their motorcycles to the funeral. And so there were well over 100 bikes at the funeral out in Waconia at the church. And it was a beautiful thing. Beautiful and unique, and they would have loved it. So it was exactly what they loved to do. And everybody came together because they were pretty well loved and respected. So yeah, it was a hard day.
This served not only as a reminder of how fragile life is, but also that life cannot be lived in fear.
Sometimes people don't see you, or sometimes you take unnecessary risks, and sometimes things just happen. It's something you always have to be conscious of, but you shouldn't let those fears override the enjoyment that you get out of riding a motorcycle by any means. But you just have to be responsible, and you have to make sure that you're doing all you can to be safe.
This isn't just something Alan preaches. He puts it into practice as he passes his love of riding to his son.
This is my son, Ashton. I tried to get him to be a musician, but he didn't do that. But he does like and loves to ride bikes, right?
I do. It's a good time.
Yeah. So taught him everything he knows. Now he's riding on Angel here, the Swift, 113 Swift Punisher, 240 on the back. This is a rocket between your legs. So he's very safe though, because I taught him how to ride. Chip off the old block. I love to ride simply because it's an outlet for me. It's relaxing, we enjoy it. We have a whole group of friends, we get together, from all walks of life and hang out and go riding. And so anytime the weather is acceptable and agreeable for us, we're gonna try and get out and ride. I'm into enjoying the ride. So you're going out in the country, you're hanging out at little hole-in-the-wall bars, you're going places you've never been, meeting people you've never thought to even associate with, because it just adds such a dynamic to your life, right? As opposed to hanging out with the people you feel comfortable with. I've hung out with the biggest, baddest Harley guys to guys from the inner city. So you get a mixed bag of a little bit of everything, and that's okay. I've learned some great life lessons from people way outside what I would have considered my comfort zone back in the day. If you shelter yourself to only hanging out with certain types of people, you limit yourself. So, we know and have friends of all backgrounds.
Whether it's what could happen on a bike, performing live, or people from different backgrounds, Alan shows that fear isn't a part of his biker life. For the Jones family, it's all about family life and motorcycles. But with a busy business schedule, they have to mix all of their passions together.
People come over sometime and they're like, man, why you got so many Harleys? They don't understand is some, they have extra golf clubs. Some have extra whatever, when friends come to town. I'm gonna have extra bike or two. I'm gonna break it up, I'm family. So I'm like, you know what, that's good, but we about to go ride. And if you don't know how to ride, I'm gonna teach you how to ride. So looking at the time, we gotta get PJ over to, my dude.
Future MLB player.
Yeah, speak that into existence.
Already, and so it is.
Yeah, that's conquering the fear. Now that's a fearless little fella.
Fearless.
So we can draw from his confidence. It's good. Well,
let's crank up
all right, let's do this. Let's do this.
So the future for PJ in relation to baseball looks very promising. He's very excited about the game. He's developed even just over this past year tremendously.
Woo, what a ride. So now we get to see you do what you do.
We have just encouraged him to keep on developing his gifts and talents, and as long as he's loving the game and stays positive, we're more than willing to encourage his active desire to become the best player overall that he can be.
All pro ball players, so PJ's one of them blessed kids that get taught by the pros.
HTP Sports Academy is owned and run by Chase Henches, formerly of the Kansas City Royals, Dylan Thomas,
Swing hard, but under control.
formerly of the St. Paul Saints, and Jake Petricka, a current pitcher with the Chicago White Sox.
So to be able to see my son getting advice and counsel from a real major leaguer that's currently playing, that's priceless. They are true players, true believers, and just be able to go there and be able to watch them work with PJ, the discipline, the true work ethic, that's what it's about, and we're literally seeing him grow in the sport.
Going to visit HTP today was awesome. I enjoyed seeing PJ do his thing. Just to see, his ambition and his drive and his determination to perfect his craft and be the best at it that he can be. HTP! It was something beautiful to watch and just inspiring even for me to remember that if you have a passion, just follow through with it.
So I got to handle business and hang out with clients. I got to see my son go through a baseball training and then still get back to business. And when you have a busy life, sometimes you have to incorporate it all. And you know what? I'm gonna do it and put my bike in there too, because if I can't ride at some point of the day, it's not really a good day to me.
Don't allow fear to hold you back, Everyone kind of stops themselves from things because of the fear of the unknown, but really, it's so much greener on that other side if you just take that next step and go out there. So I think that's the one thing I learned, just get on the bike and go.
Just knowing that I've accomplished something that I never would have thought that I would have done as a personal goal, getting on the bike, being able to go out to dinner, go to a movie with my husband and my son on one bike, and I am riding alongside, is definitely cool.
It's fun to have a community of bikers that you can always pick up the phone and go and hey, you want to go riding today?
And I feel like my bike is nice, but when people look up and they'll be like, oh, your bike is badass.
But I do have to say his bike is pretty nice, so I'll let him keep the status of having the coolest bike in the household for now.
Any biker will tell you this. You ride down the road and you see another biker coming by, it's just one of these. It's just one of the biker ways. My wife, one time she thought it would be really funny, so while I'm doing one of these, she's in the back of me going, I helped her out. She doesn't do that anymore. She's cool.